Hello, and welcome back to our journey through the Mother of Peace, the story of the greatest woman peacemaker in human history. To conclude chapter 5, today's message is titled, Let Us Become Successful for the Sake of Others. You know, it is interesting to think that True Mother's earliest childhood memories come from a very humble, simple existence. She didn't have ambitions of wealth, and in many cases, she may not have even been sure of her personal survival. Sure, she was aware of the world around her, the reality, but at the same time, she must have looked through a lens of purity and selflessness that might be hard for us to imagine. I believe that both father and mother from a young age looked way beyond the reality that they saw in search of the world that God had envisioned. I also believe it is that vision and dedication to God's will that gives them the strength and power to overcome tremendous challenges. And because they do it for God and for the sake of others, and that is the source of their own pride and happiness and strength. Let us read. As a little girl, I never had money and hardly knew what it was. When I got a bit older, in the maelstrom of the division of Korea, we had to flee our hometown empty-handed to preserve our lives. We remained penniless for a long time. Moreover, my maternal grandmother and my mother were devoted to God's will, and our lives had little to do with money. After I married, tithes and offerings came in and went out just as fast for public purposes. I did not have any concern about making a fashion statement. Sometimes when I saw an expensive purse, I wondered, what might the money in that purse be used for? More important than how much money is in a wallet is the question of how it is spent. The path of one's money shapes one's fate. According to God's word, our responsibility is to have dominion of love over all things and to share our prosperity. You can perhaps imagine True Mother as a young woman wondering what someone's money would be used for. And, this statement, the path of one's money shapes one's fate, has deep meaning. A True Mother is saying that the amount of money is not the key, but rather how it is spent. How we spend our money shapes our future. This is incredibly exciting when you think of it, especially if it is not the amount that matters. That means that even those of us who have very little can actually do great things with what we have. Those choices can shape our fate and the fate of our children. At the same time, Father knew that in order to establish the proper foundation for national and worldwide activities, we would need to raise a large amount of money, a large amount of funds for public purposes. Mother says, our movement's economic activities began humbly in Father Moon's mud-walled hut in Bomildong, Busan, during the last months of the Korean War. Father and one disciple, Wonpil Kim, would create and sell simple portraits for American soldiers. When the church moved to Seoul, members collected stamps and sold them. And they colored in black and white photos and sold them along the roadside. Through these and other small businesses, we supported our missionary activities. Many families are familiar with the experience of fundraising in our movement. It is not just about raising funds, but an opportunity to challenge and overcome ourselves, to have experiences with Heavenly Parent and learn lifelong lessons. So we know that fundraising is both a means to grow personally and raise funds for public activities. But along with this, true parents were trying to teach us how to lovingly dominate all things. From the very beginning, Father knew that he needed to set up business activities, and likewise, he also expected us to learn how to establish financial foundations beyond straightforward fundraising. True parents expect us to apply the lessons we learn through fundraising to become successful in the world also. Our first step on the path to real business venture was in 1960 when we set up Tongil Industries. Korea now exports all kinds of merchandise throughout the world, but in the 1960s, no one would ever have imagined that Korea's machine industry would develop as robustly as it has. We began Tongil Industries with a Japanese lathe that was destined for the trash bin. Our prayer was that God would bless our new company and that it would one day become the world's foremost manufacturer of machine parts. By developing our expertise, Tongil Industries grew from manufacturing the Yewa air rifle to making parts for equipment used in our country's defense. As a leading machinery enterprise in Korea, we not only acquired technologies to help Korea, we went on to share our technology with people around the world. Next, we established the Ilwa Company Limited, which pioneered the export of high-quality ginseng products. Ginseng was unknown in the West at the time, but now it is a household item. Ilwa is recognized both for its excellent products and as a leader in ginseng science. Inspired by our vision, our members have started many businesses. So, over the years, we have raised a lot of money and invested a lot of money in activities that do not always seem to directly benefit our own community. Naturally, this has been challenging for us and has often been especially difficult for our children to understand. But it is a part of true parents' dream and commitment to save the whole world. Our goal is for all people in the world to enjoy mutual prosperity. We believe in sharing the tools of technology among all peoples. With true family values and technology in harmony with the natural world, we all can live and work together in a pleasant social environment. Our philosophy of living for the sake of others is the driving force behind all of this. It is a fundamental truth that we should take care of those who are less fortunate than ourselves. A wealthy person who is grateful to others and helps others will create a wealthy community, nation, and world. The creation is a gift that God has given each of us. Every human being should be able to enjoy this gift fully. It is contrary to God's will for one individual to gain possession of everything, or for one country not to share its scientific developments, technologies, and resources in times of need, or use such things to dominate other nations. Yes, some person or group in some country develops each new technology. The next step is to enable others to benefit so that all can enjoy health, well-being, and comfort. This is the way of mutual prosperity. Isn't that beautiful? You know, true parents are not just preaching these ideas. In 1972, against much opposition, they set up the International Conference of the Unity of Sciences, ICUS. Father said, the purpose and goal of science is to realize humanity's dreams. Scientific civilization, by its very nature, must be shared by humankind as a whole. And Mother explains that no country should monopolize scientific development, which is why they set up ICAs, in order to promote a free exchange of developing knowledge and technology. She said, "Our view is that because science and technology are revealed and given by God, they are the commonwealth of all humanity." Isn't that beautiful? We wanted developed countries to globalize the cutting-edge standards of science and technology by sharing their tools and methods with developing nations. Furthermore, True Parents didn't just set up conferences, they acted on their vision by all means possible in countless ways. They invested in new machinery and advanced agricultural education in order to boost food production in Africa, for example. They invested in farms and reforestation projects in South America. They started a premium coffee farm in Hawaii with proprietary organic farming techniques that True Mother just recently shared with leaders from Africa for the sake of their economic development. True Parents invested in car factories. And did you know that they even established Korea Times Aviation to promote state-of-the-art aviation technology and space engineering? Look, these are not ordinary practices of a religious movement. Looking at it, you might say, who are these people trying to take over the world? When in fact, they are people who are trying to love the world and lead by example, because they know that all the blessings are designed to be shared with others. All the blessings given to us by God are designed to be shared with others. God created the world and all the beautiful laws that govern the universe. When harnessed properly, true knowledge can produce amazing things, because it all comes from God, the Creator. In 2017, True Mother revived our efforts with ICAs, and she said, to solve the many problems facing our world, whether they are religious or scientific, first, you must know correctly about God, who is the origin of the universe, and about True Parents. Then, only then you will be able to find the solutions. Isn't that amazing? So I want to encourage all of you, even if you have very little in your own purse, the little things you do with your money can bring big results for you if you use it for the sake of others. Furthermore, no matter how well educated or established you are now, True Parents have encouraged us, taught us, and modeled for us from the very beginning that anything is possible when we live for a higher purpose with God as our center. True Parents and early members started with nothing at a time of war and repeated opposition. They sacrificed everything to remind us that if we attend our Heavenly Parent and True Parents, we can be successful for the sake of others. We can be hugely successful and truly successful, especially when it is for the sake of others. That will motivate you. That will bring us joy, strength, and power. We can dream big and we can achieve great things. But True Mother is reminding us that pride does not come from success itself. Pride does not come from success itself. It comes from sharing that success. Whether it is advanced nations sharing their technology with developing nations, or neighbors taking care of one another in the village. True pride and happiness doesn't come from attaining nice things and being successful. It doesn't come from having a lot of money. It comes from using them for others. It comes from using those foundations and that success for the sake of others. Therefore, as we try to build our success, as we study at school, as we do our jobs, as we learn how to increase our prosperity, if doing it for the sake of a higher purpose, if doing it for the sake of others is our core motivation, then surely not only will we have more strength, more power to sleep fewer hours and work harder, but we will have a great sense of pride from the very beginning. And I believe it will increase our actual success itself. Don't you think so? Look, Mother puts it best. Let us conclude with Mother's words. We should not take pride in having crisp bills inside fancy purses. Instead, we should focus on how our assets can benefit others. True pride comes when we spend our money for purposes larger than ourselves. So, brothers and sisters, I believe True Mother puts it best. Not only that, true parents have set the example and shown us how to do it. Let us, from the very beginning, dream of helping others, dream of serving others, no matter how small, whether it's just serving our neighbor, serving our friend, serving our family, serving our village, serving our nation, serving the world. I believe the bigger we dream, the more power and strength we will have to do all of the work necessary to become successful, if it is for the sake of others. So, brothers and sisters, let us enjoy True Mother's life as a great model for our own. And in the meantime, have a wonderful day and have a wonderful week. God bless you.